bit of an issue getting my camera working. There we go. There I am. There's my beautiful face. Maybe there's my beautiful face. My face is looking a little frozen. Hey, there we go. Alright, we're gonna play some Rivals today. Do a little bit of practice.
I'll make this quick.
We got Creepy Loxodon. That was a rough one.
I don't have time for this.
For round 2. or her tag, or their tag. Assisted. Hold on, baby. very quick. Let's see if we can get a rematch. Also, close some background processes. Make this a little faster. Just go through those. I'm also not wanting for memory. Okay, we got some of this. Oh, fighting Rano is so annoying. Good edge cancel. Crazy little frog is moving on. After you're done with that round, will you just listen to my sound for just a second? Thanks. Let's ban Treehouse, and let's ban Rockwall. Jules fail, that's fine. Full hop when I should have done it full hop. Oops. Alright. He is, rolling in a lot. That rolling in. Gotcha. That was a good one. I got my redemption. Although they played Olympia and not Cragorano. I'll probably get rematched against them again, and they'll play Frog Boy or Mouse Girl. Or not Mouse Girl. Frog Boy or Bug Boy. Rivals of Bugman. Alrighty. It would be really cool if I could hit gold today. I've gotten super close a couple of times. I got to 895 once the other night. We'll see if I can finally break through the barrier. I think Merchant Point Port is good for me in the matchup. I just don't want to play it. We'll go to Hodojo instead. suck. I suck. Timing was a little bit off. Got the reverse hip. Nice. It's always nice, at least for the DI mix-up. That was really bad DI. Oh, stupid mouse girl. And that was really bad DI too to finish it off. I'll get my rematch. Maybe I'll play mouse girl too.
Out of my way. I'm late for
Show
class.
if I'm better. Let's be better. I'm thinking maybe we go for, I wanted to go forest. We'll go, let's go Godai. Does this sound okay? Me louder? That didn't kill? Well, that killed me. Man, I'm a bitch for that one. Too bad. I got kind of wrecked on that one.
Out of my way. I'm late for class.
When I played this morning, I went up a little bit of ranking. I think I've lost 3 in a row so far. So maybe just streaming makes it harder. I don't know. I was reading... No, it wasn't reading. I was watching a YouTube video that was talking about a research study that was done talking about what makes a successful person as far as decision making. And one example that people talk about a lot is the Steve Jobs example, where he wore the same thing every single day, just so that it was the one less decision they needed to make. But in this video, they were talking about the famous Stanford experiment, where they had a bunch of little kids sit in a room with marshmallows, and they had to sit there, and they said, if you can wait 5 minutes, you get 2 marshmallows instead of 1. And, of course, the children were bad at that. But one of the... I'll finish this story after this match. Keep you in suspense. Bitch. Okay, I wasn't sure if I had a rock or not, or a pillar or not. Nice. Zetterburn is another character that I feel like Crag beats pretty hard just because they're bad at recovering. If you're fighting a Zetterburn who doesn't know how to snap ledge, you just sit there and charge forward smash and kill him at 30. Good. I thought I was going to throw that game. I almost did. I lost like 30%. Or I went from like 30% to basically dead. I could have died at any hit. Anyway, Stanford Marshmallow Experiment. They found that the children who were the most successful at waiting for the second marshmallow were the kids who distracted themselves, not the kids who tried to get through on pure willpower. And in further studies that they did measuring the same thing, they found that it took physical energy to try and make decisions. And so the more you avoid making decisions, the more energy you'll have to spend on things that are actually important, making you more successful at the things that you actually want to be successful at. And I just thought that was a really cool study. Whoa. I'm a bitch for that one. It is a cool study. One of my favorite inspirational speakers, Dieter Uchtdorf, also once did a speech on that study. It was really cool. So I thought it was interesting watching this random YouTube video talk about it, but the video I watched was more about patience, not about the speech I'm talking about was more about patience, but the video I watched and the further study was more about the energy it takes to make decisions. Man, I had 4 viewers for a second. Very weird. Got me. I will link the video. I'll link you both of them. After this, I'll go find them. Alright. Looks like they gave up. Let me go find it. Man, I gotta pee. Maybe we'll just watch the video on stream while I pee. Did I watch it on Wednesday? Yeah, here it is. Let's go to here? Not that. Okay. Okay, let's watch this
days ago, I proudly showed my girlfriend this expensive piece of
Can you hear that?
Tupperware I got. You put something in it,
Okay.
set a timer,
You're back.
and then it
It's gonna
stays
be-
locked until the time runs out. I told her I had been playing this video game too much, and now I can keep myself from playing it by putting the game in this $60 piece of plastic. She was a little concerned, asking me, "Can't you just resist playing?"
I'm listening, and it says I'm a piece of crap.
What's funny is I actually saw this thing on Shark Tank a while back and had the same reaction. I think I'll just save my money and not eat the cookies. This video is not an advertisement for this, but it begs an interesting question. What's the difference between successfully resisting a temptation and just not having a temptation? Maybe you've heard of the Stanford marshmallow experiment. Researchers thought torturing kids would be fun, so they sat kids down in front of a marshmallow and told them, "I'm going to leave the room. If you don't eat the marshmallow, you'll get another marshmallow when I come back, so you get to have 2. And then they left and watched the kids with a hidden camera for about 10 minutes. The kids stared at the marshmallow, held it in their hands, sniffed it, and even snuck a lick or 2. Maybe unsurprisingly, only 1/3 of the kids could resist the marshmallow long enough for the person to get back and then get the second marshmallow.
This little girl was interesting. She ate the inside of the marshmallow. She wanted us to think that she had not eaten it, so she would get 2, but she ate it.
Whether the kids did or didn't eat it, I think you'd agree they're clearly exerting effort to resist the marshmallow. A single marshmallow is an easy task for adults, but we still use effort to resist things. An alcoholic resisting a fully stocked mini fridge in his hotel room uses a lot of effort. And then others would use far less effort to resist watching another episode of a good series when it's time to go to bed. So, is there a consequence of resisting temptations even if you succeed? A famous experiment by Roy Baumeister and colleagues had 67 participants who hadn't eaten for at least 3 hours walk into a room filled with the aroma of just-baked chocolate chip cookies. They sit down to a table with 2 bowls, one filled with warm, gooey chocolate chip cookies, and the other one filled with radishes. Half of the people were told that they had to eat the radishes and couldn't touch the cookies. Afterwards, they had the poor radish people and the lucky cookie people work on a mentally stressing puzzle. The puzzle was actually impossible. The point was to see how long people would try to do it. The radish people gave up on the puzzle almost twice as fast. On average, they quit more than 10 minutes faster than the cookie people. The idea is that the radish people were tired from using their willpower on resisting cookies, so they had less willpower to use on the puzzle. This is just one of almost 200 experiments that gave credibility to the concept of ego depletion. The idea that willpower draws on a limited stock of energy. Willpower is like a muscle, you can tire it out. So if you use a bunch of willpower on one thing, then you have less energy to use later on resisting temptations, staying focused, or even making good decisions. Now, this idea was challenged by a 2015 paper, but a more recent 2018 paper said yes, ego depletion is a thing, some methods are just effective for testing it, and some are not. In any case, I think we intuitively know that temptations are distracting. It's going to be at least a little harder to focus on your work if you're on a diet and your friend is baking pies and cookies. Or it'll be hard to study if it's Friday night and your friends keep texting you to come to a party. Them randomly throughout the day whether they were resisting a desire, how
Thought
strong
that I
that desire
just-
was, and
I
whether
was
they
trying to
were
mute the
successful
game and I
in
muted the
resisting it
video
or
instead.
not. They then took a look at the data of nearly 8,000 desire reports and found that the more desires the person had resisted, the more likely they were to give into future desires. This kind of makes sense. Let's say you have a long day at work. Unless you really like your job, for the most part you are resisting desires. Resisting the desire to skip the 10 a.m. meeting, or the desire to play games on your phone instead of actually working, or the desire to take an extra long lunch break, or resisting the desire to just go home early. We might say that using all that willpower throughout the day then makes it harder to resist the desire to watch Netflix on the couch instead of going to the gym. But here's what's interesting. In the study, the people who were best at self-control and said that they were the type of person who was good at resisting temptations, they actually reported experiencing fewer temptations throughout the study. That is, the diligent people with high self-control apparently were just using less self-control. In a study titled What's So Great About Self-Control, Marina Milyavskaya and Michael Inzlicht gathered data from 159 university students and found that those exerting more self-control were not more successful in achieving their goals. It was the people who planned their life so that they didn't have to use self-control that were more successful. So the difference between me and successful actor Tom Cruise is that while I'm figuring out how to resist the temptation to play games, he would have just thrown them away. Since I've been working at home most of the time lately, playing Smash Brothers is always an option. Because that option is always there, I'm a little distracted by it. I'll be a bit tired from reading papers or getting frustrated because I can't think of what to write next, and then I'll be bargaining with myself like, okay, I'll play for just 20 minutes and then work for an hour. Or maybe play for 10 minutes and then work for 30 minutes. So, regardless of whether or not resisting the temptation depletes my willpower energy, just being tempted to play is at least distracting me. This lowers my focus and worsens my productivity, even though I'm not actually playing. Work by Glenn Wilson of Gresham College has found that when you're trying to focus on a task, even the simple temptation of an unread email sitting in your inbox reduces your effective IQ by 10 points. Only being tempted by wanting to check a shiny new email impairs your brain's performance. In James Clear's book Atomic Habits, he explains there's a 4-part habit cycle: the cue, craving, response, and reward. First, there's a cue. Let's say you're at the office, it's 10:30 a.m., you're a little bored, tired, and unfocused. This feeling is a cue for a craving for coffee. In response to the craving, you get up and get a cup of coffee. You are then rewarded for your behavior with the energy and the nice taste the coffee provides. James Clear says that a habit will start to fall apart if one or some of these parts are missing. Let's say you start sleeping properly. 10:30 rolls around, but you're awake and alert, so there's no cue for coffee. Or let's say you're at the office, you feel tired, but you respond to the cue differently. You take a walk instead of coffee. Or let's say you start drinking decaf coffee. You respond to your craving by grabbing a cup of coffee, but it doesn't have that nice caffeine reward. Any of these should help to weaken the habit. Clear says a really effective way for breaking bad habits is to just make the cue weaker or more obscured. If seeing cookies cues a craving to eat cookies, then just put them where you can't see them, or better yet, don't buy them. If you're trying to focus, just turn your phone off instead of resisting the temptation to check your phone when you get a notification. Rather than trying to exert more willpower, you can just strategize or plan better. Going back to the marshmallow study, they found that the kids who successfully resisted the marshmallow were more successful later in life. They were more confident, more reliable, less likely to become obese, and even got better SAT scores. But how did the successful kids do it? Did they just grit their teeth and fearlessly stare the marshmallow down? Not quite. As reported in one of the original studies investigating this, the successful kids covered their eyes with their hands so they couldn't see it, they talked to themselves, they sang, invented games with their hands and feet. They did whatever they could to take their mind off the marshmallow and didn't rely so much on brute willpower. Similarly, what's going to put fattening foods on your mind more? Taking the route home where you walk past the delicious smelling bakery, or taking a different route home? What's going to have an alcoholic thinking about alcohol more? Booking a hotel with a stocked mini fridge, or booking one without? In my last video, I talked about how having so many choices of things to do all the time can cause a persistent feeling of indecision, of uncertainty. Should I do my work or play Smash Brothers? Should I work out or watch Netflix or do my taxes? Each action provides its own reward for a cost. Taxes cost a lot of time and boring decision making, but rewards me with no more worries of huge fines. Netflix costs time, but rewards me with immediate enjoyment. From your brain's perspective, the action that provides the most reward for the cost is not always 100% clear. And as I explained last time, this indecisiveness, this uncertainty, can activate the brain in a way that generates anxiety and lowers your ability to focus. So at least for me, when I remove one of the choices by locking it in this box, it feels like my brain stops doing all those calculations and I'm more relaxed and more focused. I would have thought that I would still want to play the game, but just be annoyed that it's stuck in the box. But oddly enough, I just forget about it. Another thing I've been using is this app for Mac called Self-Control. You just add websites you don't want to be able to access to a list, and then you can't access them. This too is really effective and helps me relax and focus with no extra effort spent on resisting watching How to Get Away with Murder. We always have tons of choices throughout the day. Should I do this or that, or just do this for a little bit and then do that productive thing? A simple way to reduce that uncertainty and indecision and stop being distracted by these choices is to make the choices that you don't want to make harder or simply delete them. Use less willpower, not more. In 1892, a man's body was found in the snow, apparently killed by someone who ran him over with a bicycle. Sherlock Holmes needed to figure out the direction in which the murderer took off. Here is an aerial view of the bicycle tracks in the snow. In which direction was the bicycle traveling? If you'd like to know the answer and learn more about the rules of the world around you with fun challenges like this, you'll have to check out Brilliant's Physics of the Everyday course. If you're naturally curious or want to build your problem-solving or analytical abilities, you'll enjoy Brilliant's thought-provoking math, science, and computer science content designed to break complex scientific concepts down into understandable chunks. Like this lesson on neural networks. It takes you from how a computer learns to play tic-tac-toe up to how artificial neurons are trained. With over 60 interactive courses in math, science, and computer science, Brilliant will grow your understanding of our modern world with a structured and engaging approach. Check out brilliant.org/WIL, and the first 200 people to follow my link will get 20% off the annual subscription.
Alaric's anomaly.
I hope you had fun watching that video. It's a good one, huh? And in the meantime, I got wrecked. I'll probably play one more and then I'll go cook some dinner. Let's do Crag. Hello, good luck. How embarrassing. Alright, let's mess some people up. Hey, silly mouse girl, get fucked. That one was just way too easy. By the way, I played this game with a pad, with a, oh gosh, this is a pad. This is a something else. Anyway, I played with one of these. It's kind of fun. Gosh, why can I not think of what this is called? No, it's a pad. It's the hot pad. It even says it on the controller. Box. That's what you call it. I play on box. I'm playing against a Maple. In that case, no Merchant Port. And let's do no Rock Wall. They were dead. I made a mistake. Okay, not too costly. Okay, works for me. Did you know that you take every stock that the opponent throws away? Well, that was kind of a disappointing end, but I think that throughout my stream, I managed to keep my elo about even. I think I started around 850 and I finished at 860, so some good neutral practice. Thanks for watching.